Hey guys, today we're gonna have a quick talk about what to automate, right? Everybody knows in their business that they need to automate, right? Automation saves time, saves money, leverages, technology, gets you freed up to focus on the tasks that you can't automate, which is so important. So today I'm gonna give you a little guidance on where I think you should start and what we do right away when a business has no automation. So stick with me and we'll get right into it. All right, guys, so go ahead and like this video for me real quick, and let's talk about where to start with automation. So this video assumes that you haven't automated anything in your business, and that means you don't have one autoresponder or anything like that, right? So everything is manual for today's discussion here about this. If that's what the situation looks like when people show up here to work with us, the first thing we start to automate is some sort of customer messaging, right? And so that's to the existing customers, right? We want to keep that existing customer pool warm and engaged with the business. And that might be on a products or services, it doesn't matter, right? So if that customer base has been allowed to cool off, that's the first place to get into automating messaging to that group. And what that might look like specifically is at least 52 messages about a year's worth of weekly emails to that existing customer base. And it sounds like a lot when I say that, but it's really not that hard to come up with 52 short messages. And we do that the same way that we've talked about on other videos on here by organizing our topics, our expertise, and then just working down, and you can quickly come up with 52 topics and then just start filling in the blanks and getting those written. What's really great about most messaging email platforms is you can start an automated sequence like that and keep adding to it as it's sending. So you don't need to set the whole thing up necessarily. You can get 10 done, then you're 10 weeks out, and then do 10, do 10, do 10, and then, it all is happening. That's the first place we love to start, is just making sure that the existing customer list is re-engaged if it's been allowed to cool off. And if not, and there's been some sporadic emails, at least get it like some regularity, but get the workload off the staff, the owners and the managers so that that's automated and we know that that's happening. The next piece of the puzzle, once you have those existing customers engaged, is to focus on new customers. And I think that the most important piece of automated messaging for new customers, and this assumes that if they buy something, they get a confirmation. Okay, so that's basic automation. So you definitely want to have that, right? When somebody gets they buy a product from your shopping cart should have, a confirmation email and a shipping email. Okay, so those are cool automations that are built into most e-commerce platforms. If you're a service provider, you need to think, how can I mimic that? When I onboard somebody, what sequence do they go into? We call that a client indoctrination series, and it's really important, and here's how it looks. If you get a new client, you really should have about 2 weeks of indoctrination messaging for that client to solidify that relationship, to reaffirm to the person that they made a good decision by choosing you as their service provider, and to introduce them to all of the other things that you probably do or can do for them that they didn't even know about. And it's just a lot to cover on a phone call, for instance, or in the middle of trying to solve one of their problems, right? So the indoctrination series looks like this. Typically, it's going to be an email every 2 to 3 days for about 14 days. So that's 7 to 10 emails thereabouts. And those are going to go from, a nice little arc, if you will, like a sort of story arc. They start kind of at welcome all the way to, here's all the ways that we can transform you and your problems to solutions. Here's what things look like in the future, right? That whole stuff we've talked about on other videos, and highlighting all of the things that you do, and also covering topics like how they can get the most from their relationship with you. Like, what can they do, right? Setting some expectations with them and, covering how both of you can do well and be profitable in the relationship. So those are my two areas that we immediately jump into. If you haven't automated anything in your business, then that's where I would dive into right now. The bonus points are adding in SMS messaging to the same sequences, right? So you can double tap, send an email and send an SMS and kind of have that going along, which is great. We've been doing more and more of that last year and this year, and we continue to push more SMS messaging for most of our clients because it seems that people just love it. It's fast, and the opens and readership are near 100% on text messaging, which is awesome comparative to email, which is still good on a warm list, but it's really not even close to the numbers you can get on a text message, where they receive it, they're going to look at it. The downside is the amount you can send is far less, right? So sometimes it might just be a message like, hey, we've updated something in your account, so go take a look. Here's the link. Or we sent you an email, check your inbox. Or, here's a video we made, link to a page. That's always a good one for text. Just they've got to be brief. So you got to do some other things with those. But I think, those are the areas to go for. And there's tons more you can do, of course, with automating, but those are definitely the basics to sort of lift up your relationship with your new clients, your existing clients, and get a lot of that manual communication load off your shoulders. We'll see you on the next one. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe, because we do videos every week, and we'd love to see you again.